All the Old Knives, out on Amazon Prime, a surprisingly competent spy film starring Chris Pine, Tandy Newton, Jonathan Pryce, and Lawrence Fishburne. The story starts with Chris Pine, who works at the CIA, learning that an investigation was suddenly reopened into one of the old cases that he was involved in. 8 years ago, when he worked in the Vienna station of the CIA, terrorists kidnapped a plane upon landing and ended up executing all of the passengers on board. A lot of the people from the station ended up blaming themselves for not being able to stop the event from happening, but now the agency has captured one of the main people involved in the attack, and he revealed that the terrorists had an inside man feeding them information from within the CIA. So Chris Pine is tasked with interviewing the others in order to find out who was the mole, and his main suspect is Tandy Newton, who also happens to be his former lover from that time, which of course will complicate things. So what I liked about the film is how not bombastic it ended up being. Spy movies often tend to veer into the action territory, which I don't think reflects how espionage really works. This movie is more reminiscent of stuff like Homeland or Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, with more focus on conversations, details, sources, and lies. The way it lacks grandeur is also reflected in the sort of calm way that the story is told. We mainly observe Pine and Newton discussing the past over dinner, going into flashbacks of the events that happened back in Vienna. I think performance-wise it's good. I especially like Jonathan Pryce, who I think is the best of the bunch. The story is fairly simple and makes sense. I also enjoyed how the person who is finally revealed to have been the mole, it kind of fits thematically why they would be guilty. Of course, I don't want to say anything more, not to spoil anything, but it was just an elegant way to fit things together. I do have a complaint, which is that I think there's too much melodrama and the story is colored by the romance angle just a little bit too much for my liking. I would honestly imagine espionage to be just a bit colder and impassionate, but hey, that's just the kind of movie this is. I think it's fine. It's especially if you like spy films. It's not revolutionary in any way, but it ends up being a perfectly enjoyable hour and a half anyway.